Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. In the last episode I completed another set, or another chest here. So I've turned the lights on and that was the music set. So I made a little bit of a record disc farm and I got all of the discs. I went to the nether and got the pig step, and then I just crafted the note blocks and the jukeboxes here. So today I want to complete another chest, and it's going to be the wool, carpets and beds chest. I've already got all of the wool from the mob farm that I've made. It makes a lot of string and I can just craft all of that into wool, but I do need all of the different coloured dyes, so I'm going to have to make a few different farms today. So I should probably mention that I've changed my texture pack. I was using the default texture pack before, but now I've changed it to the Faithful texture pack. So it does make most textures look better, I think, but some of the textures are a little bit bugged out, and I'll get to that later on this episode at some point. So before I get into this episode, I'm just going to show you what I did off camera. I didn't do too much. I made a farm over here, a nether wart farm, and this was to get some red nether brick. So I got a full shulker box of red nether brick, and then I've got quite a lot of nether brick over here as well to craft once I've done with all of this. So obviously this isn't going to stay here, I'll destroy it once I've got all of the nether wart that I need. And if you slide down here, I started on my second room of the base. Well, third room if you count the storage room up there. And this is a nether portal room obviously, and it's nowhere near finished. I'm going to use all of the red nether brick over here I think, but I haven't come up with a good design yet, so I'm going to keep working on that on a creative world, and then I'll come over and build it on here. And I've left two pathways, one to each side. I'm planning on having like a nether wart farm on this side, and a brewing stations or a brewing room on this side. That's the plan eventually anyway. It might take me a little bit of time to get to that. So if I head off into the nether, I'll show you the next thing I did off camera. So I started planning out my nether hub a little bit. This is not the design I'm going to go for. I'm going to change the blocks up, but I just wanted to like say it out and see where everything would go. So the nether portal is going to be in the centre, and it's going to go like equal both ways. Then it's going to be a little exit here out into the nether. These 5 wide gaps are going to be tunnels, and then the 3 wide gaps like this, I'm just going to try and decorate the wall a little bit. But yeah, this is just a work in progress for now. I'll probably do a little bit of work off camera between a few episodes, and I'll show you next time once I've done quite a lot of progress on it. And it's got 1 tunnel so far. This is going to go to the farm that I built in between episodes. And it's not the nicest room ever. I only spent like 10 minutes designing this thing. It's a farm I'm not really going to use too often, especially not right now. But I did stay here AFK overnight, and you might be able to tell. The farm gets ink sacks, bones, I think that's cod. Oh no, that's salmon and that's cod. So I got plenty of fish overnight. I'm never going to use this much, but you know, it's just here anyway. I got quite a lot of bones, but I already had a lot of bones in the mob farm. And the ink sacks are the things I needed this farm for. And I didn't get too much, but I got plenty for today's episode. So I think what I'm going to do is actually get 2 stacks of this, and I'm going to get 2 stacks of salmon and 2 stacks of cod. And what I can do actually is take all this stuff back to the base here, and I can put a few things towards the checklist. So for anyone who's wondering how this farm works, it's really simple actually. So this is a 15 by 15 area here. It's 2 down or 2 deep. It's completely filled with source blocks of water and magma blocks at the bottom. So anything that spawns in here will get sucked down and killed by the magma blocks. And if I just quickly creep over the edge here, I have a dispenser going down there, so there's a load of hoppers and minecart rails going underneath. So all of the minecart rails come to the edge, then drop the items off into hoppers, and then all of the hoppers filter into a dropper, and then that just gets shot up into the storage system. It's a really simple farm. It took me probably about 45 minutes to build, including the storage room up there. So yeah, it's pretty simple, but it gets quite a lot of fish and squid. So I've cooked a stack of salmon and a stack of cod, and then if I turn a stack of the ink sacks into black dye, I can tick 6 items off of the checklist here, so I just need to find the right chest. So the first chest is the food chest, and I should be able to just put all of this in like this, and then I'll take these 3 out here. The next one's in the dyes chest, So I'll take the paper out for black and I'll put the black dye in there. And the next one is in the mob drops, so I'll take the ink sac paper out and then I'll put the stack there. So yeah, that's 6 more items ticked off the checklist. So I'm going to head over to the farming district that I started in the last episode, and I'm going to build at least 2 new farms there today. I think that's all I need. I've tried working it out of how many different dyes you can make with different farms. Now I've made the squid farm, I've got plenty of bone meal and stuff, so I think I only need 2 more farms now, and we'll get over there and then I'll talk about which farms I need. Okay, so I'm here. I'm not really too sure where I want to build this thing. I think I might just go over in this corner again. So I do need to go underground a little bit, so I don't want to go on top of the creeper farm that I built in the last episode. I might move over like 3 or 4 blocks, maybe 5 blocks, and start building it above ground here. But there's going to be a little bit of the farm that goes underground as well. And I think there's an invisible block here. What is this? Oh, it's a bed. I don't know why that's invisible, but you know. So what I'm going to be building is a cactus farm, and that will give me all of the green dye that I need. And then I'm going to build a little pickle farm as well inside the cactus farm, so I'll get quite a lot of pickles as well. And then the last thing that's going to go in this farm is some 2 high flower farms. So those are the most simple farms ever. You just need a little bit of bone meal and a dispenser. So it shouldn't be too much of a big project. It shouldn't take too long to do. I think I'm just going to time lapse it, and it should give me all of the dyes that I need. Okay, so I've been quite busy here. You saw me build this cactus farm. I've built it 5 layers high. I think I might go a couple more layers high because I think it'd look better if it was sticking further out of the ground. But this is perfect for now. It produces quite a lot of cactus. But this is the cactus farm design that I went for here. It's pretty simple, with a half slab with some sand on top, then the cactus, and then there's a fence gate here, and it's open, and this just means that all of the cactus pops off once it grows, then it falls down, and the items cannot land on an open fence gate. You can use a fence post or some iron bars or something, but there's a chance that the cactus will land on top of there and not fall down into the water down below, so that's why I use the fence gates. But anyway, I'm just going to head down and I'll show you what's going on down below. This is what the cactus farm looks like from down here. It's just a bit of glass, and you can see the water, and you can see the cactus going down the hole there. And I've got some scaffolding here just to go down and collect the cactus. And all of the cactus goes down into this chest here. There was actually quite a bit more, but I emptied it out not long ago. And of course this isn't going to stay like this, I will be changing it, and I want the cactus to get filtered up and go straight into the storage room, which I'll get onto in a second. If you remember the last episode, I found a skeleton spawner right in the middle of the big area that I dug out up above, and this is that skeleton spawner here. I decided to make it into a simple bone farm here. So the skeleton spawn in this area is full of black concrete to make it dark in there, and you see the skeleton spawn, and then they just get killed by the magma blocks down here. And then I've got a little storage system back here, well, not a storage system, it's just a chest, and this is where all of the items are getting stored for now. So I've got a minecart hopper going underneath and a few hoppers that all point into this chest. So once the minecart hopper goes over this row of hoppers here, it'll drop some items off, and then the items go into this chest. It's pretty simple, and I've actually been throwing away all of the arrows because I just don't really want the arrows, I only want the bones from this farm. So I will set up a filter that gets rid of all of the arrows and puts them into lava or something like that, and then I can just keep all of the bones. There's a few more things that I want to quickly mention. So I've left 2 big gaps here, and these are going to be for 2 farms. I mentioned one earlier, which is the pickle farm, which is going to go on this side, and then the other one is going to be a cocoa bean farm, and that's going to go on this side. So the cocoa bean farm is for the brown dye, and then the pickle farm is for the lime dye. The skeleton farm is for bone meal and white dye, and then the cactus farm is for green dye. And if I come over here into this room, I have a few flower farms here, and I can get quite a few different dyes from here. So I can get yellow, red, I think this is pink, and then magenta, but then I can also combine a few of these and make ones like orange and stuff like that. So I can pretty much make every single dye here just from the farms that I've got going on, or the farms that I will be building in this episode. And these flower farms are very simple anyway. I just flick the lever here, and then the bone meal starts getting dispensed out, and then all of the flowers go into this chest. I'll try to show you some of the redstone behind here. It's a little bit compact and hard to see. If I get up here I should be able to show you a little bit. So the lever is on this lamp here, and when I turn it on, this redstone signal turns on, and then it goes on top of this sticky piston here, and then it will push this observer down, and that will go into the face of this observer. Then it will start a little clock that just goes back and forth, and then it will keep powering the dispenser down there, which is full of bone meal. And I do want to fill all of these chests up with bone meal up here. There's 3 double chests for each dispenser, and then a few hoppers as well. So I'll get onto that during this episode. And these things do actually produce quite a lot of flowers in quite a short space of time. I don't think I'll need to use them too often. Yeah, these are actually really useful farms. And you might have realised here, but the sunflower is actually facing in that direction. It is annoying, but by the time I realised, I couldn't really be bothered ripping the whole thing out, all of the redstone and everything, and then building it in a different direction. So I'm just going to have to stick with it and keep it like that. It's not a big deal, like I said. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Anyway, there's a few more things that I want to mention quickly before I get on and do a little bit more work on the project. So I've put all of the dyes here in the item frames, but there's a few dyes that I can't actually make over here just yet. So the light grey, the grey and the black, you need ink sacs or black dye to produce all 3 of these. And you saw at the start of the episode, I do have an ink farm to get the black dye, but it's not actually near here. So what I'm going to do is just bring loads of shulker boxes full of ink sacs over here, then I'll just stock up all of these barrels. And the other one that I just wanted to mention here is the blue dye. So I've got a good idea for this. You need lapis to make blue dye, or there's this blue flower, I don't know what it's called, and you can make a bit of a flower farm. But I think I'm going to go for the lapis. I've got a little bit over here already, but my idea is to get some villagers over here, and I'm going to put the villagers on that wall there. And I forgot what the villager is, I think it's the cleric or something like that. He actually trades lapis for emeralds. So I think I'm just going to bring probably 5 of those villagers down here. I'll put them over on that wall, and then that's how I'm going to get blue dye over here. And once I've got the blue dye over here, I can make the light blue dye, and I can also make the cyan dye. So the light blue dye is just blue dye with white, and then the cyan is blue with the cactus green, which I can get from smelting cactus. But anyway, I'm going to get on with a pickle farm, and I'm going to make a cocoa bean farm. I'm going to try and get some villagers over here for the lapis trade, and then I'm going to bring some ink sacs over from the squid farm, and then I think I should be able to produce every single coloured dye just from staying in this place here. I thought I'd do a quick progress update on the farm. I've done a little bit of the redstone here, and this is just underneath the skeleton farm. So all of the drops are getting picked up in these hoppers here, and they're coming down into this dropper right here. Then any item that gets put into here, so I'll just put some granite, it will get shot out into the water stream, and it will go over this sorting system here, and then everything that goes past the sorting system will shoot up into the water stream, and I'll show you where that goes in a second. So all of the arrows that come out will get sorted out into this sorting system like you saw there, and then they'll get shot out down there into the cactus, and I'll try to show you that redstone quickly. So this is just a simple sorting system here. I've used it a few times already, and I've got 2 here. Both of them have arrows in. So all the arrows should get sorted out into these sorting systems and then go down here into this dropper and then get shot out into the cactus. So this is above where the storage is down there, and the items come all the way up here in this item elevator as you see here, and then they just go along here. It should all be bones, but for some reason a couple of arrows get through. So yeah, all of the bones should come up here, come across here and drop down into these hoppers. And if I jump down here, all of these hoppers are on the back of these barrels, so all of the bones get sorted into these barrels right here. Like I said, for some reason some arrows come through here as well. I'm not too sure why, there's none in here right now, and this is just junk that keeps falling into the water streams. It's not a big deal if any of the arrows come through the filter, but I think I'm going to try and fix that problem anyway. And I've done a little bit of work around here. This is where the items come up. I thought it'd be nice if you could actually see the items going up, so you just saw some bones going up there. And on this side, this is where the cactus, the pickles, the green dye and the lime dye are going to come up. And I thought this would be a good idea over here. So my plan is to make it so when the lever is up, it will produce cactus. So the cactus will get sorted out into the storage system over there. And when the lever is down, it will produce some green dye. And the green dye will get sorted out into the storage system over there. There's quite a lot of redstone and stuff that needs to go on behind the scenes, but I'm going to get to that in a second. And in here is my cocoa bean farm. It's not automated yet. I want to put some dispensers in the ceiling here with some water, and then set up a timer or something to go off and harvest it all. Yeah, that's going to be the last thing I'm going to do on this farm. So I'll just quickly head down here and show you my plan for the cactus. So right now, all of the items, if there was some water here, all of the cactus would come through here and go straight around here into the storage system. But the plan here is when I flick the lever, which is connected to this redstone line here, the redstone will go off here like this, and then the pistons will come back and pull the ice back, and then this means that all of the cactus will then drop down into here, and then I can put the cactus through a furnace with some hoppers and stuff, and then it will make green dye, and then I can send the green dye up the chute instead, and then that will get sorted out up above, and then that will go into the green dye chest instead of the cactus chest. So that is the plan here. I'm hoping I can figure out all of the redstone, and I think I'm just going to get on with it, and I'll have another progress update soon. I thought I'd just do a quick update here. So I've done most of the redstone down below, and I've done the pickle farm. I moved the cocoa bean farm over to this side for some reason. I can't actually remember why I did that, but I'm sure there was a reason for it. And this is a pickle farm. I am going to decorate all of this place much better than this. I'll show you how this works quickly. Once a dispenser's full of bone meal, you can just turn this on, flick the lever, it starts growing all of the pickles, and the pistons like harvest the pickles. They all go into the hoppers there, then they go down below, and I'll show you where they all go. I'm just going to keep this running for now. But before I go down below, there's two settings here. So I can either get the pickles or I can turn them into lime dye. So I'm going to turn them into lime dye, and if I go down I'll show you what's going on. So the pickles are coming down here, and if I selected the pickles up there instead of the lime dye, these ice blocks would still be here, and then the pickles would just go straight across into the water stream here and go upwards into the storage system. But instead they all drop down into here, and I'm going to pick a few up there by accident. And they go into these hoppers here and then go down into this furnace. For now I'm just using coal. I don't think I'll be using this farm too often anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I'll probably fill this chest up with coal, and that should last me quite a while. So once it gets turned into lime dye, it gets shot out of the dispenser and goes up into the water stream, and it joins onto the same water stream as before. So this water stream comes up above from below, and this brings up the lime dye, the green dye, the pickles and the cactus. And all these items just go along this water stream here, and they'll get picked up by these hoppers. So I've got a few item filters here for each of the different types of items that come along. And if any of them don't get picked up, I've just got this system here, so they go all the way back around, and then hopefully they should get picked up on the second time. So once the item's got picked up by its filter, it will just get brought down here and go along into a dropper, and then I've just got a little bit of redstone here to shoot it out, and then it will go and get dropped into the barrels. So the items fall off the edge there into these hoppers, then they just go into these barrels here. So it's pretty simple really. and I've got a little bit of green dye and a little bit of lime dye there. And I've also got a full barrel of cactus here and about half a barrel of pickles. So that's most of the redstone done for this farm now. A lot of the work I need to do is just decorating the place. I've still got to get some villagers in here, and I think I'm just going to get straight on with that, and then I'll probably give you an update once the farm's completely finished. So it's a few days later now, and I've spent a little bit of time decorating the place. I've done the roof, and I've done a little bit of work down there. But first of all, I'm going to show the cocoa bean farm here. So I wired up some redstone. It's pretty simple, and basically these stairs up here are connected to some sticky pistons, and then there's some water above the stairs. So when I press this lever here, all of the water will come down and harvest all of the beans, as you can see here. And all of the beans were not fully grown, so I didn't get the best rates there. Then I just wait for all of the water to go away, and I can come in here, collect all the beans, and then I can just start replanting them like this. So from that one harvest I got 2 stacks and 11 cocoa beans. Usually I get a little bit more, about 2.5 stacks overall. And then I come down here, and I can either turn them into brown dye and put them into this barrel here, or come over here and just put them in with the cocoa beans. So this part's not automated, I've just got to do this manually. So I've done a little bit of decorating in the pickle farm as well. I'm not too happy with how this turned out. I kind of rushed this a little bit just to get it done. I couldn't actually go any further back on this wall here because there's a bit of redstone where this lever is, and then also at the edge of the cactus farm 1 block behind that. So I had to just kind of work with the space I had. I didn't really know what to do, and this is what I came up with. And I also changed the location of the lever, so it was over there, now it's over here. And this is what I do to turn the farm on now, and then just turn it back off. The 2 storage rooms down here have pretty much stayed the same. I've just done a little bit of decorating in the roof, which I kind of like the roof design here, and then the floor as well. But these lanterns don't actually produce too much light, so I've got quite a lot of hidden lighting around the place, like behind the stairs here, and also there's some underneath the floor, underneath some stair blocks. So that just helps light up the place a little bit more so no mobs spawn in here. And the last room here was just a little bit of a fail. So I wanted to get 6 villagers in here, 6 clerics, so I could trade for some lapis to get the blue dye. But for some reason this guy just won't link to the brewing stand, so his trades won't refresh. He's been in here for quite a while now and his trades just won't refresh, so I can't get any more lapis off this guy. And this guy is the 3rd villager that I've tried to get down here now, and none of them will link to the brewing stand. So I just don't know what to do. I've kind of given up on this project a little bit. Maybe one day I will come back and get the rest of the villagers in here, but I don't really think I'm going to use this farm too often, so it's not a big deal and I'm not too bothered if I don't get the villagers down here. But anyway, I have been stocking up on some of the dyes here, so I've got at least like a couple of stacks of all of the different coloured dyes. So what I'm going to do is go through them all and get 1 stack of each. Then I'm going to head back over to the base and I'm going to put them all into the chest in the storage room. And while I'm here I'm going to collect a few stacks of some of the other items in this farm. So we'll start off with a stack of each of these flowers here, so all 4 of these flowers. We will take a stack of cactus as well, a stack of pickles, and finally a stack of cocoa beans. So all of these items here can all go into the storage room. I've also made an exit to the farm here, but there's nothing up here so far. I need to build like a little building or an entrance to get down to the farm, instead of it just being in the open like this. And you can also see all of the rails and the mess that I made up here, trying to breed up all of the villagers. So I've got a little villager breeder here, and I was taking the baby villagers over there, waiting for them to grow up, turning them into clerics, and then trading to lock the trades. And then when I tried to take them down I just couldn't get them to link again, so it was kind of a failed project, and I'll probably just tear all this down soon. So over at the storage room now, there's a few more items I can tick off the checklist. So we'll start off with the dyes here. So I'm just going to place a stack of each dye into the chest here. So there we go, that's all of the dyes checked off. I can't actually check off this entire chest just yet because I don't have the terracotta or any of the glazed terracotta, so I'm going to have to get all of that in another episode. But I can go over here and check off a few of the flowers now. So we'll start off with this one here that just goes right there. I can check off the rose bush, so we'll put that in there. I've already got the sunflower and lilac checked off. and then I can put the cactus in there for 1 stack of cactus, and put the pickles in there as well. I think that's everything that goes in this chest that I already have. And the final thing that I'm going to check off this episode is the cocoa beans. So I've already got 1 in there, I'll just put another 63 in there, and that's cocoa beans checked off as well. So I've not managed to complete a full chest today and turn any more lights on, but I made quite a lot of progress and I managed to add quite a few new items to the storage system here, so I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And the dye farm that I built is going to be very useful in the future when I'm trying to fill up all of these chests here. So all of the items that need coloured dye, like the glass panes, and then the banners, the wool, the carpets, all of these stuff need coloured dye, so it's going to be very useful in the future. I also made a little bit of progress on the base off camera, so I dug down another full layer and then I added the little floor down there as well. There's still quite a long way to go, I think another 3 floors down to bedrock, all the way down there to where the beacon is. So it's going to take quite a while, and I think I might do that in between episodes, and I'll show you it at the start of the next episode. I'm not entirely sure, it depends if I've got the time, so let's see if I can fly out of here. But like I said, that is where I'm going to end the episode here. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below for what farms you want me to build next, and I'll see you all next time.